And a good Tuesday evening, and welcome to Wahoo High School here for the Trailblazer Conference Tournament. It's high school volleyball in 2023. Austin McNorton sitting along Dylan Simons here tonight for the 3 seed versus the 6 seed here in the Trailblazer Conference. It's your Wahoo Warriors hosting the Blue Devils of Plattsmouth. And Dylan, I know this isn't postseason yet, but this kind of marks kind of that halfway point of the year for both of these volleyball squads and has your most kind of postseason feel to it with this conference tournament. What kind of mentality do each of these teams have to come in with?
Yeah, I just think you both got to come in knowing, do or die pretty much at this point. You got to come out and play at your best and play top level here. And the only thing you can worry about is just playing hardest.
So Wahoo comes into the contest with a 14-6 record on the season, as Plattsmouth comes in with an 8-10 record. But as we know, the way these conference tournaments kind of work, it's kind of throw the stats out the window and all of those kind of things, because everyone wants to have that kind of attitude of, we want to come out here, we want to win this tournament, whether we're on the road or not, right?
Absolutely.
So both of the teams come out wearing basically the same jerseys. As Plattsmouth will start out, so I'll kind of announce Plattsmouth is on your right. They're in the black shorts, blue jerseys, white numbers. They're on the right side of your screen. Wahoo is also same jerseys, black shorts, blue jerseys, white numbers. And both of these teams did not play that long ago, as we'll pull up the last time these teams met, which, like I said, not too long ago, as this happened on Thursday. So last Thursday, these two teams met, and Wahoo won 2-0. So, Dylan, what kind of attitude does Plattsmouth have coming in saying, we just saw this team, this was the last game we played against this Warrior team. How do they come in start out strong here tonight?
Yeah, you know the team already. You know exactly what you're going against. So it should be different this time. And I was actually at the game, and Wahoo looked really good last time. And Plattsmouth, I didn't think played at their best level, because I've seen a few of their games this year, and I didn't think it was their best play yet. So I'd like to see this one. I think it should be really close.
And Plattsmouth, they start out with the lead as they return the opening serve, put it down for the point, and they lead at 1-0 here in set number 1. And serve goes into the back row, dug out, set into the middle, and into the middle, killed down into the back left corner. And what a shot for the Warriors to get things started. I believe that was Segrin in the middle. And boy, does she have some power, Dylan.
Yeah, she kills the ball.
We'll pull up her stats on the year for Wahoo. Gretchen Segrin, 153 kills for Wahoo. This one served into the back row, set into the middle. It's set up into the air, dug out by the libero to the far side, killed down right in front of the Blue Devil. And there on the backside for Wahoo getting the point. Looked like that time it was Audrey Wado on that far side putting it down. Wahoo takes the lead 2-1 here in set number 1 of the Trailblazer Conference Tournament, as this one's an ace. And what a start for the Warriors, as they now lead 3-1, getting 3 straight points in a row. And it's an ace in the back row for McKenna Smith, the junior. Able to put it down, and Wahoo 3-1. Smith again gets it into the back row, dug out in the air, set into the middle, nearly blocked and put down on a nice kill here on the near side by Riley Pletka for the Blue Devils. But those were a couple of good serves in a row there for McKenna Smith. And we've seen her continue to get better at that aspect of her game throughout the course of the season, Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Wahoo 3, Plattsmouth 2, set number 1. Served to the near side, over to the far side for Wahoo. Dug out of the back, set into the middle. Kill put down, dug out by Wado, and put back over by Smith. Into the back, here to the near side. It's just tipped over the net to the back row. Wado sets it into the middle to the near side to Segrin, who just missed that left corner in the back row. But actually, they said it was tipped. Boy, that was close, Dylan.
Yeah, real close.
They said it was tipped at the net, and so it goes off of a Blue Devil, and Wahoo doubles their lead 4-2. And back to serve for the Warriors is the libero, Alyssa Havlicek.
It is number 8's first time back since her ankle injury.
So happy to see her back, as this one is just out of bounds as they tried to tip it over on that far side. So we'll see how. That's Chloe, right?
Yep.
Back
Chloe.
first time. And when did she get injured, Dylan? I'm trying to remember what game that was.
I can't remember a game, but maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
And this one's killed into the net, and Wahoo has their largest lead here of set number 1, 6-2. Trying to carry that momentum. As back serving again is Havlicek. The junior gets it into the back row. Popped up into the air and just set over. Now here's Wado sending it to the far side and down into the back row, right back in the net, and blocked up and down, and there she is. Chloe Kosiski blocks it straight back up and down. She looks healthy to me, Dylan.
Yep. Looks good out there.
Wahoo 7, Plattsmouth 2. Here's Havlicek again into the back row, set up into the middle. Right side, dug out by Wado. She sends it into the fans, saved over, and Audrey will just send it over the net. Set into the middle, put down, it's in. They called it in. It was really close, and a nice play there in the middle by Josie Friel, the junior for Plattsmouth. Puts it down for a big Blue Devil point to kind of stop the bleeding. Here's Smith to the near side to Segrin, and that's a little bit too strong that time. Kind of mistimed her jump on the set from Wado in the middle. Just a little bit too strong, and a good read in the back row for Plattsmouth to watch it sail over their heads. Now Plattsmouth trying to create a little bit of momentum. 7-4. Wahoo leads set number 1. Smith digs it into the back, blocked over, and a nice play by Havlicek to Wado. So Segrin, she tips it over. It's blocked up into the air. Set into the middle. It's tipped over. Now Wahoo with an opportunity. Wado to Kosiski. Just missed on the near side. Looked like that was kind of a set play that time to get it to Chloe in the middle. Just couldn't put it down where she wanted to, Dylan.
Nope.
Wahoo 7, Plattsmouth 5. Neither team really able to pull away as Wahoo watches a service error go over their head. And back to serve for the Warriors will now be Gretchen Segrin. Gretchen on the year serving for Wahoo. We'll pull up her numbers as it's dug into the back row. Nearly an ace. Can Plattsmouth save it? No, it is an ace. It took a while to be that way. I almost thought I was going to hit the basketball goal there. As Gretchen Segrin, that's her 22nd ace of the year. This one into the middle to the near side. Blocked, but goes down for the kill for Piper Fitzpatrick, the sophomore for Plattsmouth. Here on the near side, it's Wahoo 9, Plattsmouth 6. This one to the back row to Wado. Back over to the far side, just over the net and down. A lucky break there for, I'm trying to see who that was over there on that far side for Wahoo. It looked like,
I think Josie Larson.
Yep, Josie Larson, number 9. I couldn't tell if it was an 8 or a 9. It is Josie Larson, so she gets a kill. Now she's back to serve and does so. Set here to the near side, tipped over, dug out by Smith. Wado sends it over. Plattsmouth resets into the middle. Fitzpatrick down into the back row for a kill. Piper Fitzpatrick again. And that sophomore, Dylan, showing off her athleticism. She'll be a lot of fun to watch here in a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
As they say, Dylan, and you've been around this game longer than most, volleyball is certainly a game of runs. And each team has had their fair share of runs, but Wahoo's kind of been able to control it here throughout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smith sends it into the back row, and that's down. McKenna Smith has another point for her today, and back to serve now for the Warriors will be Chloe Kosiski. Wahoo leads 11-7. Wahoo just trying to control it. They defeated these Blue Devils on Thursday 2-0. This one's sent over and a little bit too far that time for the Blue Devil Riley Pletka here on the near side.
She did get a touch, though, so she got the kill.
Oh, they did say Wahoo touched it. Good call. So Wahoo leads 11-8. Smith digs it to Wado, gets it back. She tries to kill. It's dug out of the back row. Set to the near side, tipped over the net. Smith digs it out to Wado. She sends it over, and it's good. Heads up recognition by Audrey Wado just to send it over on hit number 2. And what's kind of the thought process going through Audrey's head there, Dylan, of saying, I want to get it over now?
I think she just probably saw something when she took a peek down before she sets the ball and sees a spot she likes that she thinks she can get it to before setting it.
Dug out of the back row by Havlovic. Over to Smith. She sends it over the net in 3. To the middle. To the near side. Blocked! Right at the net by Cameron Sather. Puts it down. Well, she timed that one perfectly.
Yes, she did. I think Wahoo just recently changed the rotation to have Cameron Sather get when Chloe Kosiski got hurt, they just recently changed it to have Cameron Sather get middle time.
Yep. How about McKenna Smith? Boy, we just keep talking about her and how great she's been here in set number 1. She's been the difference, and Plattsmouth needs a timeout because of it. Here in set number 1, it's Wahoo 14, Plattsmouth 8. And we'll be right back on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube.
If you're looking for a new career, Dollar General is looking for you. Hiring all positions and all shifts, they are looking for you with a starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. You can find details by going to dollargeneral.com/careers or by texting DG Warehouse to 25,000. Must be 18 or older, but again, starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Contact them now, dollargeneral.com/careers. At Medicine Man Pharmacy, we aspire to be the pharmacy provider confidently chosen by our clients for their family's everyday health needs because of our expertise, integrity, and honestly, consistently exceeding their expectations. Reliability, bright spot, value, integrity, community building, and so much more can be found at Medicine Man Pharmacy of Wahoo.
Austin McNorton and Dylan Simons here back with you live on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube for the Trailblazer Conference Volleyball Tournament. It's your 3-seeded Wahoo Warriors 14 and the 6-seeded Blue Devils of Plattsmouth 8, now 9 as it's blocked in the middle by the Blue Devil Riley Pletka. Wahoo just got a block from Cameron Sather, and the Blue Devils call a timeout, get a block back, and you could tell there, Dylan, the head coach, Katie Circuits for Plattsmouth, definitely made that an emphasis for the Blue Devils of getting some action right at the net. Back-to-back blocks. So, yeah, I think an emphasis was definitely made.
Yep. Got to have some pressure on the hitters.
And what's kind of a thought for blocking for those who are kind of experiencing the game of volleyball maybe for the first time of saying, how are they timing that? How are they getting in the right spot to get their hands up in the air?
I can't speak on the timing, but I know that it's just to put pressure on the hitters so the hitters can't hit as hard as they can at the people in the back row, because it gets tough to dig and get up if it's just coming at you as hard as they can possibly hit it.
As back-to-back blocks for Plattsmouth and then an ace. And this one's dug out by Smith to Wado. McKinney gets it back, tips it over. It's saved, but not in time. Well, that was a heck of an effort, though, for Reagan Beckwith for Plattsmouth to drive and at least get a hand on it. But Wahoo answers back with a point, and they lead 15-11 here in set number 1. And the Warriors' McKenna Smith will be back to serve. Gets it over to the net into the back row. Set into the middle and killed outside. Good eye that time by Wahoo on Josie Friel's kill attempt. And Wahoo now leads it 16-11. Trying to get into a rhythm. And the last time McKenna Smith was back serving for Wahoo, they scored 5 points in a row. This one's blocked at the net. Smith digs it out of the back row to Wado. Set to the far side and brought down by Josie Larson. She is so good over there on that far side of the court, being able to put it where she wants it consistently.
Absolutely. She spent the most time around the game out of anybody on probably this team and anybody I know. Sure, her mom was the volleyball coach here for a long time before she retired.
Set to the near side, blocked by Segrin and Sather again. Right here on the right side, those two timed the block perfectly. And Smith will go back to serve again. After Plattsmouth had a little bit of a run, Wahoo extends their lead 18-11. Now here in set number 1. As McKenna Smith will be back to serve it again. Jump serve into the back row. Dug out into the middle to the near side. Tipped over the net. To the back to Wado to the near side. Sather with a kill. Puts it down. Haven't seen her do that a lot, but you mentioned it earlier, Dylan. She came in and replaced Chloe Kosiski throughout her injury, and she looks confident out there.
Yes, she does. They moved Gretchen Segrin out to an outside instead of playing middle to get Cameron Sather minutes after Chloe came back. They wanted to continue getting her minutes.
That is now her 30th kill of the year, and now McKenna Smith has a service error, and Wahoo leads 19-12 here in set number 1. Thanks to everyone for tuning in to Wahoo Public YouTube and Saunders County Online. Austin McNorton and Dylan Smith here with you live for the Trailblazer Conference Tournament. So it's just varsity action here tonight. And the winner will play on Thursday, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that potential matchup as the kill here on the near side by Addison Augenbaugh, who just checked into the game. I think I said that right. Would you say?
I'll be honest, I have no clue. I would have said how you said it.
And a good eye on the far side by Havlovic to watch it sail out of bounds. And now she's back serving. Nearly gets it into the stands, but a nice play by Plattsmouth to keep it alive. Smith to Wado to Segrin. Blocked. Wahoo saves it. Smith sends it over to the far side, and Larson wasn't ready for it that time on the set from Wado. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication that time. As we'll look at it here, the Trailblazer Conference Tournament. This one's dug out by Havlovic to Wado in the middle. She sets it to Kosiski. Blocked. Wado to Smith. She'll tip it over. Dug out by the Blue Devils. Sent here to the near side. A kill too far again that time by Addison Augenbaugh. The sophomore has missed a couple of times here on the near side. So here's how this tournament lays out. As back to serve is Segrin again for Wahoo. Gets it into the back row. Wahoo leads 21-13. To the near side, Fitzpatrick. She just misses a kill on the backside. And right now, Dylan, Wahoo's doing a great job on that back row of reading those kill attempts as they've sailed out of bounds a couple of times. We'll keep it right here on Saunders County Online during this timeout as Wahoo leads it 22-13. And take a look at what else is going on here tonight as this Trailblazer Conference Tournament kicks off. It's number 1 Malcolm playing host to number 8 Nebraska City. Number 4 Beatrice is hosting number 5 Ashland Greenwood. And number 2 Platteview hosts number 7 Ralston. And you're watching number 3 Wahoo lead number 6 Plattsmouth 22-13. And after reading off all those teams there, Dylan, my goodness, this conference is deep.
Yeah, this conference has a lot of good teams. It'll be a dogfight all the way through.
Such a fun conference and such a fun conference tournament. And how much of an advantage does that give each of these teams when moving on into the postseason to say, man, we feel like we've been playing the best all year long?
Yeah, I think it's a huge advantage to play good teams earlier to get that experience in and that mindset going that you're not always going to be the best team, but it's about like effort, attitude, energy, things like that you can always bring.
So once again, Wahoo will play the winner of Platteview and Ralston. That game happening right now in Platteview. And the winner of that game will play the winner of this match, and that will take place on Thursday at 6 p.m. versus whoever the higher seed is. So if Platteview wins, the game on Thursday night will be in Platteview. If Ralston wins, then Wahoo will host again here on Thursday night at 6. Or Plattsmouth, if Plattsmouth is able to beat Wahoo tonight. But Wahoo 2 points away from winning set number 1 as Segrin sends it into the back row to the middle to Fitzpatrick. She tips it over to Larson. Wado sends it back to Larson. She tips it over perfectly. And Wahoo is set point away here in number 1. They lead it 24-13.
I just noticed that number 15, I think, for Wahoo is the only senior they have on the roster, and she's getting in tonight. 15, Braylee going, I don't know.
Braylee Groenthal into the match now for Wahoo. This one's tipped over, dug out by Segrin over the net. Now, Plattsmouth sets up their offense on the far side. It's blocked but down for a point on that far side by Kylie Quinn for the Blue Devils. She's one of two seniors on this Plattsmouth squad. So that's what kind of makes this match a little interesting, Dylan, as now the Wahoo fans get on their feet. Wado sends it into the middle. Rosenthal sent over to the back row to the near side. It's blocked and down on the diving attempt by Wahoo. Izzy Nuss tried to dig it out, could not. But that's what makes this match interesting. Only two seniors for Plattsmouth, only one for Wahoo. So you're looking at the future of the Trailblazer Conference here next year, as a service error will end set number one for Wahoo, as Wahoo wins set number one 25-15. Thanks so much for tuning in to Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. We'll be back as we'll take about a 3-minute break and get you set for set number two coming up next.
Hot Oil and Propane is continuing to be family run and owned for 60 years. OOP Inc. is your Wahoo supplier for gas, diesel, propane, oil, grease, and products for your yard and acreage, including seed, fertilizer, and sprays to help keep your lawn and pastures beautiful. Find them online at oopinkwahoo.com. Call 402-443-3563 or stop by 3288 Ponderosa Drive. OOP Inc. serving for 60 years thanks to you.
At Anchor Insurance, we know your personal life and business needs the right management and insurance to succeed and grow. Give Eric E.J. Hancock a call at 402-858-0557 or stop into his office at 136 East 5th Street in downtown Wahoo, Nebraska today for all of your insurance needs.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska, serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The best deal in town is at the Wahoo DQ. Our $7 meal deals run all day, every day. For only $7, you get your choice of an original cheeseburger or a 3-piece chicken strip basket. Each option includes a regular order of fries, a medium drink, and a small sundae. Feeling hungrier? Upgrade that sundae to a small blizzard for an extra $2. The Wahoo DQ is located at 1122 North Chestnut Street and open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Austin McNorton and Dylan Simons, I should say, here back with you live at Wahoo High School on the Wahoo Public YouTube channel and Saunders County Online. As Dylan, Wahoo kind of controlled set number one, winning it 25-15. What do you think head coach Katie Peterson is telling her squad to say, hey, let's just keep doing what we're doing and keep focused?
Yeah, I think she's just telling them, got to continue to play the way they've played. And she's making some substitutions because 16 Gracie Fairbanks is on the court this time. So maybe, I don't know, maybe she's getting confident, thinking she can play who she wants to play now and get some experience for all the younger players.
Yeah, we saw Izzy Nuss come in there late. Set number one, we saw the senior Braylee Groenthal get in there at the end of set number one, and now we see Gracie Fairbanks start set number two as Plattsmouth will serve it right to left into Wado, who slam dunks it down. I don't know if that's the right term, but that's what it looks like to me.
It looked right to me too.
Wahoo takes an advantage here in set number one, 1-0. And really the story of set number one was McKenna Smith. She was so dominant from behind the service line, and she had several kills as well. So we'll see if she can kind of stay hot as Wado serves it into the back row. Now set to the near side, dug out by Larson. Wado to the far side to Smith. And I think they said she crossed over the line there in the middle for a point for Plattsmouth, and we're tied at 1 here in set number two. Wahoo won set number one, 25-15. These two teams last played on Thursday, where Wahoo won 2-0. Now here's Smith sending it to Wado, who gets it back to Smith, who will send it over in 3. Now it's tipped over and a point down, and a nice play there made in the center for Plattsmouth, and that's Josie Friel right in the center of the net. This one's sent to Smith, to Wado, to Segrin, right at the libero, and it's saved. Heck of a play by the Blue Devils. Wado to Smith. She tips it over. Another good save again from Plattsmouth, and they'll get it over in 3. Havlovic to Wado, to the middle to Segrin. She tips it over. Plattsmouth sets up, little miscommunication, and they send it over and out. Boy, Plattsmouth had some incredible rallies just to be able to get it over the net. But that time, Addison Augenbaugh wasn't able to do so on the 3rd try. As Wahoo, like I said, won 2-0 against this Plattsmouth squad on Thursday. They won set number 1 25-20 and set number 2 25-13. So Wahoo trying to repeat that performance. Larson with a kill, dug out into the middle to the near side, tipped over and down. As Wahoo, Audrey Rado nearly got a hand on it, and boy, it was close, but a point will be granted to Addison Augenbaugh, and Plattsmouth takes a 3-2 lead. It looks like, Dylan, that Plattsmouth is starting to be able to find a little bit more holes here in the early part of set number 2.
Yep, finding a rhythm for sure.
This one's set to Havlovic, to Wado, back to Segrin, tipped but saved. They say a point will be granted to Wahoo. That was almost another heck of an effort there for Plattsmouth, though. It just seems there's just a little bit more intensity from the Blue Devils right now on the defensive side. As Havlovic will be back to serve and right into the net for a service error. And those, I think, Katie Peterson, at this point in the season, would like to see some of those mistakes corrected by this point in the year. Here's Kosiski, and she gets a point down into the back row, and we're tied at 4. Back and forth we go. Neither team really able to get much of an advantage here early in set number 2. And now Gretchen Segrin will go back to serve for the Warriors. She has 22 aces this season. One of those happening tonight. Blocked down. Nice play by Larson on the return. Doesn't give Plattsmouth an opportunity at all. She punches it right back down. And Wahoo, believe it or not, takes their first lead here of set number 2. And then they come right back with a service error. And that is Segrin's 26th service error of the season. As checking in for the Blue Devils will be Reagan Beckwith, and she'll go back to serve. As we're all tied at 5 here in set number 2. And coming in for the Warriors is Faith Davis into the back row. Smith digs it to Wado, set into the middle to Kosiski, up and down. Well, that play has been there all night. Wado into the middle to Chloe Kosiski. And she looks pretty healthy and in shape. And that's one of the things you see from injuries is volleyball shape, getting back into that game shape. She looks really strong here tonight. Larson into the back row. Put down. Audrey Wado kind of rolled on the top of the net, but she got it down.
Yep. I mean, great play. Scary, but it works.
Wahoo has their largest lead now here at set number 2, 7-5. Again, this is number 3 versus number 6 in the Trailblazer Conference. Set over. Back to Smith, and she'll punch it down. That's 3 times here in this second set that Wahoo has had a play exactly like that. As checking in now for the Blue Devils is Kinley Crittenbrink, the freshman, getting some action for Plattsmouth. Wahoo leads 8-5, and we'll see if Josie Larson attacks her. Yep, right at her. But she does a good job of digging it, and Plattsmouth is able to get it over in 3. To Kosiski, to Wado. Back to Kosiski. Boy, that's unfair. That is a dominant slide kill here on the near side from Chloe Kosiski, and there's nothing Plattsmouth can do with that. Really showing off her power that time as Wahoo now leads it comfortably 9-5 here in set number 2.
Like you said earlier, volleyball is just a game of runs. Plattsmouth, went on theirs earlier, and now Wahoo's going on one.
And Plattsmouth gets the point as Wahoo was a little bit too far. I think that's what over the net a little bit too far, that much.
Yep, I think she went over the net with her top hand.
It's Wahoo 9, Plattsmouth 6. Set number 2, Wahoo leading. Set number 1 in a service error for the Blue Devils. And now back to serve for Wahoo will be Chloe Kosiski. And she sends it over into the back row. Sent to the far side and over in 3. Larson to Wado. She just sends it over perfectly. Finding a hole. And boy, Dylan, as soon as she did it, you even had a wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
She wasn't ready for it.
just so perfectly put down in the hole here on the near side. And Wahoo leads it 11-6. Here's Kosiski over into the back row. Dug out to the middle to the near side. Sent over in 3. Wado to Larson. Dug out by Plattsmouth. And they'll set up a play and send it over in 3. Here's Wahoo setting up again. Wado goes back into the middle. It's sent over. Dug out. And Plattsmouth can't get it over. And that'll be a point in the middle there for Wahoo. And that is number 15, the senior, Braylee Gronenthal, getting the point. Good to see her getting some minutes here in this Trailblazer Conference tournament as Wahoo leads it 12-6 here in set number 2. And there's Braylee again with a block, and the Wahoo Warriors have their largest lead, and Plattsmouth needs a timeout. It's Wahoo 13, Plattsmouth 6. You're tuned into Warrior Volleyball here in the Trailblazer Conference tournament, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Wahoo State Bank gives you the home team advantage. From the beginning of your financial experience with Penny Partners, Kids Club with Richie Rover, to student checking for those age 15 through 25, offering a variety of benefits that make banking easy when you're home or away, or if you're looking to finance the future home. Wahoo State Bank has the home team to work with you through life. Member FDIC. Rivalry Apparel in Wahoo's excited to celebrate their 5th anniversary the month of October. Stop in to say hi to the Rivalry team or go to rivalryapparel.com now to get your gear for fall sports. Then be on the lookout for winter sports apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Rivalry is open Tuesdays, Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays, Fridays 10 to 5, Saturdays 9 to noon. Call 402-870-0780 for any questions. The team at Rivalry Apparel wants to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan. Rivalry Apparel in Wahoo's excited to celebrate their 5th anniversary the month of October. Stop in to say hi to the Rivalry team or go to rivalryapparel.com now to get your gear for fall.
Austin McNorton and Dylan Simons here back with you on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube as coming out of the break. Plattsmouth timeout, and they immediately come out and get a point as Wahoo leads here in set number 2, 13-7. It's number 3 Wahoo versus number 6 Plattsmouth here in the Trailblazer Conference tournament. Winner will take on the winner of number 2 Platteview and number 7 Ralston. And that game will be played on Thursday at 6 as it's an ace. Out of the back row, that's Sarah Conkler with the ace doing the service duties here. I think is that number 8? Yep, okay. This one's sent into the back row. Wado to Smith. Oh, what a dig, but off the crossbar in the net. Jeez, did that have some power behind it. And boy, McKenna Smith has looked dominant from the start of this match. As this one is sent into the middle. Dug out. Wado sends it to Segrin. She'll send it into the back row, up into the rafters. Now set to the near side, over the net in 3. To Larson, to Wado, to Smith again. And that one is smoked, and it goes out of bounds. McKenna Smith with another kill for Wahoo. And Platteview defeated Ralston in set number 1, 25-7. So it looks like the Trojans are probably on their way to hosting the winner of this match here on Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Smith on the far side tips it over, and it goes out of bounds. She tried to find a hole, but it was a good play at the net by Plattview's Josie Friel to make her kind of have to tip it over rather than kill it over. And that's what you talked about earlier, Dylan, about how important those blocks are. If nothing else, just getting a hand in the way.
Yeah, even if you're not getting the ball, you're scaring them, making them double think about where they're hitting the ball.
And Larson finds a hole in the Blue Devil defense, and Wahoo leads 16-9 here in set number 2. Looking like the Warriors and the Trojans will be playing on Thursday night in Platteview, Nebraska, the way things are shaping up at the current moment. Smith over the net into the back row, nearly an ace. Dug out by the Trojans. Back to Smith, to Wado, to the near side, into the back row. A good attempt that time from, and blocked down, dug out by Smith. Now here to Wado, and killed by Seagren. Gretchen Seagren gets it down as Braylee Groenthal had a couple of good attempts that Plattsmouth was able to save. Wahoo leads 17-9, and Braylee Groenthal has looked really good tonight for Wahoo. And McKenna Smith has been dominant behind the serve line for the Warriors. This one's sent down out of bounds. Liked the idea that time from Friel, but there we saw it again. Just the threat of Braylee Groenthal's block affected Plattsmouth being able to put that ball where they wanted. And Wahoo now with a commanding 18-9 lead here in set number 2. Dug out of the back and tipped over. Wado sends it into the air to Havlovic, to Groenthal, to the back row to the Blue Devils. And the Blue Devils send it over in 3 to Wado, to the far side to Larson. It's put down on the back line. A 10-point Warrior lead here in set number 2. And checking in for Wahoo, there's Groenthal. I think I was saying Gracie Fairbanks is 16. I had that mixed up. It's Groenenthal's 15, Fairbanks is 16. So that was actually Fairbanks in there most of that time. Now Groenenthal's in the game. She gets a piece of a block and it goes into the crowd for a point down for Plattsmouth. So now Braylee Groenenthal's into the game. That was Gracie Fairbanks there getting a lot of that action. So it's Wado, Seagren, Groenthal, Havlovic, Smith, and Larson all out there for Wahoo. And now the Blue Devil, Josie Friel, will serve it for Plattsmouth. Just gets it over the net. Havlovic saves it to Smith, who sends it over in 3. Up at the net, and kind of some miscommunication there from Plattsmouth, as Fitzpatrick and Kylie Quinn were both looking at each other saying, who's going for this? Neither of them did, and Wahoo's up 20-10. He's coming back in for Wahoo. Kasiski into the front row, replacing the libero Alyssa Havlovic, I should say. No, it was so close. Nearly an ace that time for Groenthal. Just hit outside the near line here, and a service error. And Havlovic comes back into the game instantly. 20-11, Wahoo leads. Set number 2. Smith digs it to Wado, to Kasiski, into the back row of Plattsmouth, who sets up their offense. Tipped over through the block and down here on the near side by Addison Augenbaugh, the sophomore. She's had a couple of plays that she's missed, but you can see this sophomore has some natural ability here for this Blue Devil squad.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see what happens in a few years.
Both of these teams pretty young. Wahoo just has 1 senior, Plattsmouth with only 2, and there's a kill on the far side for Wahoo's Josie Larson. And I'll tell you, when she times those up right, there's really not much an opposing defense can do.
Nope, not much.
So here comes Gretchen Seagren in the back row to serve it away for Wahoo, as Wahoo is 3 points away from match point. Seagren jump serve into the back row, dug out to the near side to Augenbaugh, puts it down again. Addison Augenbaugh, the sophomore, getting things going for the Blue Devils, and Izzy Nuss will now come into the game for Wahoo. Kind of some miscommunication there on the sub, but she does eventually come in. Her and Gretchen Seagren were saying, wait, are you sure you're coming in for me? So 21-13 Wahoo leads. Smith digs out of the back row. Larson saves it, and Seagren sends it over. Now Plattsmouth sets up their offense. They send it over in 3, but too far that time. Over on that far side is Avery Winters. Their libero can't put it down. She's wearing the all-white, both liberos. Both these jerseys are pretty much identical. It's Wahoo on the left, Plattsmouth on the right, for those viewers just tuning in the blue and white jerseys. Wado to the middle, to Kasiski, puts it down. Well, I couldn't tell if that set was going to go to Kasiski or McKenna Smith. They both went up for it, and I think that confused the Blue Devil defense as well there Dylan.
Yep.
And Wahoo leads it 23-13 in set number 2. Sent into the back. Plattsmouth sends it over. Smith up into the air. To Waito. McKenna gets it back. Kills it into the back row, and a nice dig by Winters to the near side. Larson saves it. To Waito. To the far side. Smith blocked and down. Nice play on that far side by Piper Fitzpatrick, blocking McKenna Smith, and we haven't seen McKenna Smith get blocked much tonight. So that was a great play by Fitzpatrick for the Blue Devils. She comes out of the game, and Winters will serve it over to Havlovic. To Waito, to the near side. Kasiski finds a hole. And just like that, the Warriors have match point as they lead this one 24-14 here in set number 2.
You know, I'd love to see the Warrior student section be a little more excited. You know,
Well, yeah, we'll see if they get on their feet or not.
nope.
There's some crowd starting to clap. Kasiski gets it over in the back row to the near side and killed. What a play by Josie Friel. And Plattsmouth stays alive. Match point again, number 2. Wahoo 24, Plattsmouth 15. We'll see if the Wahoo Warrior crowd can get into it again. Some slow claps. Here's the serve over the net. Larson digs it up to Waito to the far side to Smith, who just has to tip it over. And now Plattsmouth sets it up again to the back row. Larson sets it up to Waito to Smith. Down into the crowd. And the Warriors get the sweep here in the Trailblazer Conference Tournament as they defeat Plattsmouth by the same score twice. 25-15, 25-15. So we will now await set number 3 as Wahoo wins 25-15, 25-15. That was actually just set point, not match point.
Yep, I thought it was best 2 out of 3 for this one, but it must be 3 out of 5.
So this is the Trailblazer Concert's best 3 out of 5 as all the fans sticking around. So we'll stick around too. And we'll be back here on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. Don't go anywhere.
South Haven Living Center in Wahoo is a proud sponsor of this broadcast. Recognized as a great place to work, the folks at South Haven know the importance of teamwork and the reward that comes from serving older adults. If you're looking for senior care or a rewarding career with a Nebraska-based company, give them a call or check them out online, southaven-wahoo.com. South Haven Living Center in Wahoo
If you're looking for a new career, Dollar General is looking for you. Hiring all positions and all shifts, they are looking for you with a starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. You can find details by going to dollargeneral.com/careers or by texting DG Warehouse to 25,000. Must be 18 or older, but again, starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Contact them now, dollargeneral.com/careers.
At Medicine Man Pharmacy, we aspire to be the pharmacy provider confidently chosen by our clients for their family's everyday health needs because of our expertise, integrity, and honestly, consistently exceeding their expectations. Reliability, bright spot, value, integrity, community building, and so much more can be found at Medicine Man Pharmacy of Wahoo.
Hot Oil and Propane is continuing to be family run and owned for 60 years. OOP Inc. is your Wahoo supplier for gas, diesel, propane, oil, grease, and products for your yard and acreage, including seed, fertilizer, and sprays to help keep your lawn and pastures beautiful. Find them online at oopinkwahoo.com, call 402-443-3563, or stop by 3288 Ponderosa Drive. OOP Inc. serving for 60 years thanks to you.
Austin McNorton and Dylan Simons here back with you on the Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube channel as Wahoo leads the Plattsmouth Blue Devils 2-0, winning both of the sets 25-15. And on the other side of the bracket, number 2 Platteview leads number 7 Ralston 2-0 by defeating the Ralston Rams 25-7 and 25-2.
Ooh.
So Platteview rolling at home, and that probably is a pretty safe indicator that they will host on Thursday night based on the way the first 2 sets have gone. And they will host the winner of this match as we are in set number 3, best 3 sets out of 5 here in this Trailblazer Conference tournament. This is number 3, Wahoo, leading number 6, Plattsmouth. It's Wahoo, both the jerseys are the same. Wahoo's on the left side of your screen, Plattsmouth on the right side of your screen. Tipped over, McKenna Smith to Wado. Smith gets it back, it's blocked, saved by Havlovic, and the Warriors can't get it over in 3 as it hits the official. So Plattsmouth starts out set number 3 the way they started out set number 2 with a lead. Now the question is, Dylan, how can they try and keep some momentum to keep this lead and try and keep the Warriors scrambling a little bit?
I think they just need to try to limit runs. I think Wahoo goes on too big of a run midway through the set every time.
That's certainly been the case in each of the first 2 sets. It's kind of been around that 8 to 13 mark is where Wahoo has kind of exploded and extended their lead to around 7 or 8. Which once you get to that 8-point, 7-point lead, it can become pretty tough to come back from. As Wahoo gets their first point of set number 3 on the far side, Smith sends it right into the chest of Josie Friel, who can't get it back over. And it's Plattsmouth 2, Wahoo 1 here in set number 2. These 2 teams met on Thursday, where Wahoo won 2 sets to 0. This is a best 3 out of 5 match. Smith gets it into the back row to the far side. And Plattsmouth can't get it over in 3. It was kind of a miss-hit over there on that far side by Sarah Conkler. She tried to get it over in 3, and we're tied at 2. Each team with back-to-back points. And Smith, she has kind of been the catalyst for these runs for Wahoo when she's been behind the serve line. This time Conkler gets a good strike, and Wahoo misplays it into the net. And it's another point for the Blue Devils, who now take a 3-2 lead. And I think that's a big point for Plattsmouth right there, because I was just talking about McKenna Smith. Every time that she steps behind the service line, that's when those runs have happened. Correct, Dylan?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting her not back there anymore is going to be big for them.
And it's an ace for Plattsmouth. So they started out set number 3 pretty strong here, and they lead it 4-2 with the ace in the back row by Conkler. And Sarah Bull, the senior, one of 2 seniors for Plattsmouth, sends it over again to Segrin. That's sent over instantly. Back to Wado, to Havlovic, back to Segrin. That's off the hands and over to the far side, and Plattsmouth gets it over in 3. Havlovic to Wado, to Larson, tips it over, blocked. Larson gets it back up to Wado, who sends it over in 2. Now here to the near side, it's tipped over. Smith digs it up to Wado, to Segrin again, and that's mishit into the crowd. And Plattsmouth leads it 5-2 here in set number 3. The largest lead in any set for Wahoo, or for Plattsmouth, I should say, here in this match. And Conkler will be back again. Gets it over to Havlovic, who gets it over, and a miss hit on the slam dunk from Addison Augenbaugh. Had an opportunity to get Plattsmouth a 4-point lead there, but it's one of those, it's kind of like, do you go up for the dunk or the layup in basketball, and you just kind of up in the air waiting, and then you miss it?
Yep.
That's kind of the exact kind of scenario there. It's so easy that you just like, oh man, you just misplay it. And she kind of laughed it off too, because she knew that was a missed opportunity. Larson sends it over in 3 for Wahoo. Here to the near side, Augenbaugh gets another shot and into the net. And Plattsmouth leads at 5-4 now here in set number 3. Wahoo trying to get back into it. As the Warriors will have Alyssa Havlovic back to serve for Wahoo in this mostly junior-led varsity squad for the Warriors. Havlovic gets it over into the back row. Dug to the far side. Up by Wado to Larson. She sends it over in 3. Now Plattsmouth scrambling. They get it over in 3. Smith to Wado, up into the air to Larson as the Warriors get it over in 3. Neither team has had much of a kill attempt. They've kind of been scrambling. As here's Larson with a kill attempt, but dug out nicely by the Blue Devils. Sent over in 3 to Smith. To Wado. To Kosiski. She tips it over. Blocked down for a Warrior point. That tip kind of threw off the middle there of Josie Friel and Kylie Quinn, and the Warriors have tied it up at 5 with a little 3-point run. With Alyssa Havlicek doing the serve again for Wahoo. To Winters, right at the net. And Larson sends it down right off the shoulder of, I believe it was Conkler that time. And you even said it. Boy, did that have some heat on it.
Yep, she kills the ball.
Wahoo has had that play into the middle of the net quite often here tonight, as they now take the lead 6-5. And they give it right back because it's all tied now on the service error from Alyssa Havlicek. All tied at 6. The largest lead of set number 3 was 3 points for Plattsmouth when they led it 5-2. Now back to serve for the Blue Devils is Josie Friel. She gets it over too far, and back-to-back service errors for either team. Wahoo retakes the lead 7-6. You can tell it's just a young team for Plattsmouth. Those are some of the mistakes that head coach Katie Sirkitz would love to correct, especially once you're at this point in the season, as we're kind of past the halfway point here, and this conference tournament kind of signifies that. Up into the air. Wado gets it to Larson, and that's just not fair. I mean, you can hear how hard she hits it from way up here in our broadcast booth. Wahoo now with their largest lead of set number 3, 8-6. Segrin will serve it again for the Warriors. Nice serve! Absolutely smoked, and it's an ace. No shot that time for Augenbaugh to dig that up, as Segrin hit it right in on her hands. See if Gretchen can do it again. That one had a little bit too much smoke on it.
Her jump serve is so hard, but if she gets a hold of it too much, it goes out every time.
Back to serve now is Kylie Quinn for the Blue Devils. She gets it to McKenna Smith. To Wado. To Kosiski, blocked down by Fitzpatrick right at the net. And Plattsmouth has made it a 1-point set, 9-8 Warriors. As Quinn will be back to serve it again, the second senior on this Blue Devil squad. Sends it here to the near side to Havlicek. Wado to Smith. Right back to Winters. To Fitzpatrick in the middle. And it's down, and we're tied at 9. Neither team really able to gain much of an edge here in set number 3. Wahoo control both of the sets at this point in the game. So this is kind of that point in the game you talked about, Dylan, earlier, where Wahoo can go on a run, and there's the lead grabbed by Audrey Wado. Plattsmouth, this is kind of a crucial point. This is where things, each of the first 2 sets, where it's gotten away from them.
Yeah, this is where they need to bounce back. They need a point right here.
And Wado will go back to serve to try and extend the Warrior lead. Gets it over. That's Larson, actually, sorry. And that's an ace for Josie Larson. Nope, it went out, yeah. Okay, yep, it went out, my fault. So we're tied at 10. So Plattsmouth does get that point you were talking about, Dylan. And now, can they take the lead? And a service error. Back-to-back service errors. We've seen that a little bit. And you wonder if the fatigue's starting to set in here in set number 3 for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long game.
So now Kosiski will be back to serve for Wahoo. To Winters, who gets it over. Wahoo will set it to Smith. Off a block into the back row to the freshman. Winters will send it over in 3 for Plattsmouth. Wado sends it over in 2. Back down. Plattsmouth digs it up, though, and stays alive. To the near side. Conker sends it over. Smith. She'll tip it over and find a hole. And Wahoo leads it 12-10 here in set number 3. Riley Pletka tried to send it over. Wahoo rallies and takes a 12-10 lead as Chloe Kosiski will be back to send it over again, and does. To the back row. Winters sends it over. Wado smokes it up into the rafters. Plattsmouth saves it. It's down. Unbelievable. Boy, the Warriors watched it the entire way, and it hit right on that white line. Wow. That thing bounced up into the rafters, off the railings, here at the Wahoo gym, and Plattsmouth still able to get it over, and not just get it over, but get a point. Smith blocked on her kill up into the air. Segrin sends it over, and Plattsmouth sets up their offense. Here's Havlovic to Wado to Smith, blocked up into the air, set up, and Wahoo can't save it, and it's a kill for Riley Pletka, and we're all tied at 12. Plattsmouth just seems to have a little bit of an energy saying it's do or die time now for the Blue Devils as we're tied at 12 here in set number 3. Wahoo won set number 1 and 2 by the same score, 25-15. Into the middle and down. Nice play that time from Cameron Sather. First time we've called her name here in set number 3 as Segrin comes back into the game to replace Faith Davis. And now Wahoo's Audrey Wado will serve it away. Back, it's down an ace. Another play right on the back line that Wahoo had a similar play where they watched it go the whole way and hit down. That time Plattsmouth gambled and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, great spot. Great spot on the serve.
See if Audrey can put it there again. She tries it into the shallow side this time. It's blocked down for a Plattsmouth point as it went out of bounds. On the kill again from Pletka on that far side. Riley Pletka getting a little bit more involved here in set number 3 for Plattsmouth as Wahoo leads at 14-13 here in set number 3. And who's that back to serve over there, Dylan?
Number 8. Sarah Conklin.
Sarah Conklin, an ace. And the ball right back up here to us in the broadcast booth, and we're all tied at 14. Here on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube, Austin McNorton and Dylan Simons here with you live as Wahoo won set number 1 and 2, 25-15. But now here in set number 3, the Blue Devils of Plattsmouth not giving up as this one just gets over the net. Smith digs it to the far side to Segrin, sends it, it's blocked but falls down, and Wahoo retakes the lead 15-14 in set number 3. But neither team, the largest lead for either team here in set number 3 has been 3 points. And that came early in the set. But here's the Warriors' kind of weapon, is when McKenna Smith gets into this back row serving. This one goes out, and she instantly makes an impact with a point on the serve. 16-14, Wahoo leads it. Can they pull away here in the middle of the set? Smith will serve it again. And it's down outside. It's a Warrior point. I think Plattsmouth thought it was touched. I'll be honest, I thought it was touched too.
Yeah, I thought it had to be off the block.
They say it's not. Plattsmouth was celebrating. It's a Warrior point, and Wahoo leads at 17-14.
This is where Plattsmouth needs some sense of urgency here.
And right into the net. And we talked about it. The super weapon for Wahoo instantly gets a 4-point rally for the Warriors, who now lead 18-14 in set number 3. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
At Anchor Insurance, we know your personal life and business needs the right management and insurance to succeed and grow. Give Eric E.J. Hancock a call at 402-858-0557 or stop into his office at 136 East 5th Street in downtown Wahoo, Nebraska today for all of your insurance needs.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska, serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
And welcome back to Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube channel here from Wahoo High School at the Trailblazer Conference Tournament. First round, your number 3 Wahoo Warriors lead the number 6 Plattsmouth Blue Devils 18-14. And coming out of the Blue Devil timeout, Gretchen Segrin puts it down for a kill. And we talked about it, Dylan. McKenna Smith being back there just makes such a big impact for Wahoo.
Yeah, every time she's been back there, Wahoo's had a run. And, she's doing it again right here.
It's a 5-point run for the Warriors since she's been back there, and they have a 5-point lead, which is the largest lead here in set number 3. But a nice tip on that far side by Riley Pletka over there for a big Blue Devil point to, quote-unquote, stop the bleeding. And now she will go back to serve.
Yeah, that's a big kill from Plattsmouth. Sorry.
Because you feel like if Wahoo's able to get into the 20s there, it might be too much of a deficit to come back from. Here's Larson sending it to the far side and hit up into the rafters off the roof and back down. Boy, that was just absolutely crushed.
Yeah, I don't even know what you do there as a defender. That ball's not getting saved.
So now to be Alyssa Havlovic back to serve for Wahoo, the libero. Gets it over to the other libero, Winters. Now to the right side. Nice dig by Segrin. To Wado. To Larson again. It's down again for back-to-back kills for Josie Larson. And Wahoo leads it 21-15. Their largest lead here of set number 3. They won each of the first 2 sets 25-15. This one's been close from the start. See if Alyssa Havlovic can finish it with her behind the service line. Dug out of the back row. Sent to the near side to Augenbaugh. Too far. Boy, that was really close. That was one of those plays that just about hit on that white line on the far side.
Yeah, and a lot of those have been in today, but that one happened to sneak out.
Just like that, Wahoo leads it by 7, and it's a service error. It almost crawled over the net, but Havlovic can't get it over. And Wahoo leads 22-16 here in set number 3, and back to serve for the Blue Devils is Josie Friel. Friel with the pink shoes. It was kind of sweet.
I like the pink shoes. I got a pair of pink basketball shoes.
All right. Kasiski blocked at the net 5 Fitzpatrick. She's done that a couple times against the Warriors here tonight. She's timed them up pretty well in the middle there. And Wahoo leads 22-17 here in set number 3 as Friel will serve it again. Into the back row. It's an ace. Smith and Larson kind of looked at each other, and both of them weren't able to get there. And it's an ace, and Wahoo leads 22-18. Pink shoes. Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, right? Yeah. It's a pink out night on Friday for Warrior football, correct?
Yeah, I think it is.
As Friel sends it over to Smith, to Wado, to Kasiski, and this time she gets it through the block and down. Took her a couple of tries, but she does so successfully. And Wahoo leads 23-18 here in set number 3. 1 point away from a match point. Segrin, ready to do the honors. The junior gets it over into the back row. Up and down. Wado tried to kill it. And trying to set it over the net. That time was Sarah Conkler, not able to do so. And now this is match point for Wahoo. Segrin gets it over. It's down! An ace for Wahoo to sweep the Blue Devils here on their home floor. Wahoo wins it 25-18 in set number 3. We'll take a 60-second break here on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public. And we come back, we'll wrap everything up here from Wahoo High School coming up next.
Best deal in town is at the Wahoo DQ. Our $7 meal deals run all day, every day. For only $7, you get your choice of an original cheeseburger or a 3-piece chicken strip basket. Each option includes a regular order of fries, a medium drink, and a small sundae. Feeling hungrier? Upgrade that sundae to a small blizzard for an extra $2. The Wahoo DQ is located at 1122 North Chestnut Street and open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Wahoo State Bank gives you the home team advantage. From the beginning of your financial experience with Penny Partners, Kids Club with Richie Rover, to student checking for those age 15 through 25, offering a variety of benefits that make banking easy when you're home or away, or if you're looking to finance the future home. Wahoo State Bank has the home team to work with you through life. Member FDIC.
sports. Then be on the lookout for winter sports apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Rivalry is open Tuesdays, Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays, Fridays 10 to 5, Saturdays 9 to noon. Call 402-870-0780 for any questions. The team at Rivalry Apparel wants to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan. Rivalry Apparel in Wahoo is excited to celebrate their 5th anniversary the month of October. Stop in to say hi to the Rivalry team or go to rivalryapparel.com now to get your gear for fall sports. Then be on the lookout for winter sports apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Rivalry is open Tuesdays, Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays, Fridays 10 to 5, Saturdays 9 to noon. Call 402-870-0780 for any questions. The team at Rivalry Apparel wants to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan. Rivalry Apparel in Wahoo
Sponsor of this broadcast. Recognized as a great place to work, the folks at South Haven know the importance of teamwork and the reward that comes from serving older adults. If you're looking for senior care or a rewarding career with a Nebraska-based company, give them a call or check them out online, southaven-wahoo.com.
If you're looking for a new career, Dollar General is looking for you. Hiring all positions and all shifts, they are looking for you with a starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. You can find details by going to dollargeneral.com/careers or by texting DG Warehouse to 25,000. Must be 18 or older, but again, starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Contact them now, dollargeneral.com/careers.
At Medicine Man Pharmacy, we aspire to be the pharmacy provider confidently chosen by our clients for their family's everyday health needs because of our expertise, integrity, and honestly, consistently exceeding their expectations. Reliability, bright spot, value, integrity, community building, and so much more can be found at Medicine Man Pharmacy of Wahoo.
Hot Oil and Propane is continuing to be family run and owned for 60 years. OOP Inc. is your Wahoo supplier for gas, diesel, propane, oil, grease, and products for your yard and acreage, including seed, fertilizer, and sprays to help keep your lawn and pastures beautiful. Find them online at oopinkwahoo.com, call 402-443-3563, or stop by 3288 Ponderosa Drive. OOP Inc. serving for 60 years thanks to you.
At Anchor Insurance, we know your personal life and business needs the right management and insurance to succeed and grow. Give Eric E.J. Hancock a call at 402-858-0557 or stop into his office at 136 East 5th Street in downtown Wahoo, Nebraska today for all of your insurance needs.
Stop at First Bank of Nebraska to get our new Wahoo Warrior branded debit card. Every transaction gives back to Wahoo Public Schools. All you need is a First Bank of Nebraska checking account and ask for the Warrior card. For more information, go to firstbankne.com. First Bank of Nebraska, serving our communities, investing in you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
And welcome back to Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube channel. Here for the Trailblazer Conference Tournament, round number 1 is complete. Austin McNorton and Dylan Simons here with you for the Saunders County Online postgame show as Wahoo defeats Plattsmouth in 3 sets, 25-15, 25-15, and 25-18. And now the Warriors will travel to Platteview on Thursday night at 6 o'clock to take on the Trojans after the Trojans defeated the Ralston Rams tonight, 25-7, 25-2, and 25-11. So Wahoo wins it 3-0 and advanced to the next round of the Trailblazer Conference Tournament. But Dylan, it doesn't get any easier from here, my friend.
Yep, nope, it's only going to get harder. But if McKenna Smith can keep playing like that, I think they have a great chance. She looked amazing tonight. She was great serving the ball and great attacking all night. So that'll be fun.
What's kind of the mentality, and you talked about it before tonight's game, for Wahoo that you have to have in these kind of mid-season conference tournaments to say, boy, each round gets that much tougher, and saying, all right, this was a win. We had some mistakes, but won comfortably, but now we go on the road to one of the best teams in the state.
I think you just have to trust in your training. You've spent a lot of time this season. You've had a lot of practices, a lot of games, a lot of big games, tough games. So you just got to trust in the things that you've done and worked on all season. and continue to do the things that you've worked on.
And you talked about how valuable McKenna Smith was tonight, but seeing Chloe Kosiski back on the floor after her injury, how valuable do you think it is to get her back out there? And she looked great.
Yeah, I just think getting back to the normal rotation is going to be big for him, because trying to play with subs that don't have the timing down with your setter isn't always the easiest thing to do. But now that she's back, I think the Warriors look a little better.
A big win tonight for Wahoo. Dylan, we appreciate you helping us out tonight as Wahoo wins it big time, my friend. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Once again, here, Wahoo wins round one of the Trailblazer Conference, 25-15, 25-15, and 25-18 over the Blue Devils of Plattsmouth. The Warriors will now travel to Platteview and take on the Trojans on Thursday night at 6. For Dylan Simons, I've been Austin McNorton. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors for making it happen. Kelly Johnson for running the show. Thanks to all of you for tuning in here on a Tuesday night. And we will say so long from Wahoo High School. Thank you so much for tuning in to Saunders County Online, Wahoo Public YouTube. For Dylan Simons,